Live and on demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is WNY News Now.
Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Matt Hummel. Happening now, jury selection has reached day 3 for a Jamestown man that's charged with murder. Plus, Chautauqua County Executive George Borrello is here in studio. But first, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter is live with the First Defense weather.
Hey Matt, and how are you on this wonderful, today's Thursday, and happy Thursday to you as well. Take a live look over the Lakewood Sky Vision camera. Again, we have the snow accumulation that has fell and mainly cloudy skies out there. 19 is the current temperature, and it's still below average. As we take a look at First Defense Doppler, again, we've had a few of those light snow showers that have moved through, but otherwise, that's pretty much about it, and high pressure builds back in for the end of the week. Man, it was a cold morning. Look at this. This is where we bottomed out. 9 was, actually it was 8 was the official low, but that occurred at 10 p.m. last night. And man, it was another chilly morning. Today's the last day of that, and we'll have one more of it to go through. Hour by hour temperatures at least will rebound a little bit into the lower 20s. This is still about 20 degrees below average. We should be near 40 this time of the year. Will we see it? The hint is yes, and I'll tell you when on that Weather Property Maintenance 7-Day a little bit later on in the show. Matty Ice.
Alrighty, Dakota, I'm looking forward to that. Thank you, sir. Today marks day 3 of jury selection in the murder trial for Jamestown man David Wagoner. According to the Chautauqua County Court, 6 people have been sworn in as of late yesterday afternoon. Now, the trial will begin the day after the jury selection is completed. Wagoner is charged with second-degree murder in the July shooting death of Jamestown man William Mishishima. Jamestown police say that Wagoner shot and killed Mishishima with a single shot to the head at a Livingston Avenue address. Wagoner remains in Chautauqua County Jail on $1 million cash bail. And no new court date has been scheduled for the Jamestown woman charged in the death of Bus-Dye man Wilfredo Colon Rodriguez Jr. A Cattaraugus County court clerk tells us that Mary Lou Johnson, also a Bus-Dye, had a Huntley hearing on February 11th to discuss the admissibility of statements made to authorities. The clerk previously told us that once the judge makes a decision on the admissibility, a new date would be scheduled. Johnson faces several charges, including vehicular manslaughter and manslaughter. State police say that Colon Rodriguez Jr.'s body was discovered on Swanson Hill Road in Randolph last April. Lakewood Bus-Dye police previously told us that he was reported missing to them, and we will continue to follow the story and provide updates when they become available. Yesterday, we reported how Congressman Tom Reed is reintroducing legislation that will call for the death penalty for those convicted in fentanyl-related deaths. Today, area officials are reacting to that legislation. Now, we spoke with Jamestown Police Chief Harry Snellings this morning. He says he hasn't read the legislation specifically, but he's thankful for any help in general that he can get in fighting the drug epidemic.
Yeah, again, I can't comment specifically about that piece of legislation because I have not seen or read it. But I will say that anything that assists us and helps us in dealing with drug dealers specifically is a benefit.
Now, Chautauqua County District Attorney Patrick Swanson, in a release, says that he supports any increase in penalties for those convicted of trafficking the deadly drug. In addition, Swanson thanked Reed for reintroducing the act. And Jamestown Public Schools is seeking input in their search for a new principal at Jamestown High School. The JPS administration is asking the community to take a survey that would screen applicants as well as shape interview questions. Jamestown Superintendent Brett Apthorpe says that it's crucial to seek advice from JHS students, staff, parents, and the community at large. Current JHS principal Mike McElrath is leaving after this year to lead the new JPS Success Academy this fall. After the show, we will post a link to where you can find that survey on our website at WNYNewsNow.com. I'm just going to take a scroll here on the comments where our one system's a little down today with the comments, so I'm going to open up with my phone, good old Facebook Live here. Let's see what we have. Turn the volume down. Don't want any interference. Refresh. And here we go. We've got the comments over. First off, good afternoon, everybody, on this lovely Thursday, almost to the weekend, which is great. Hey, guys, thank you, Butch. Thank you, Linda, Samantha, the Jesters Promoting Company, Renee, Connie, and hi, everyone. Dakota, we needed to warm up. Can you please help? LOL, this bitter cold is off the hook, says Connie. Dakota, yes, when you come on later, if I don't hear anything about a heat wave, we may see a drop in ratings for you, and it's our own February sweeps, even though it's March now. Just kidding, Dakota. See you soon. Good afternoon, David. Thanks for being here. Much appreciated. We have a lot going on this afternoon, including next here, Chautauqua County Executive George Borrello is in studio. We're going to talk about a variety of topics. Dakota.
12 degrees. Woo, boy, that look at where we should be, closer to 40. We'll let you know if we get there with that full weather segment coming up in just a few.
Family is so important to Michael and I. Both of our families attend this church. So March 15th is going to be a night that, we're welcoming people. It's not church. It's a family night, we're calling it. It's fun. We're going to have activities for the children. We're going to have music. We're going to have refreshments. There's something for everyone.
All the churches that I've ever been in, I've been in church since I was a little baby, all the way up until now. This church has the most love in it that I've ever experienced.
So like our Facebook page, New Hope Church on Facebook.
We also have a website,
yeah.
newhopejamestown.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
When I'm streaming and I'm talking to my community, we have that literally split-second interaction. If somebody says hello, I say hello right back immediately, and it kind of creates that connection. Because my subscribers and my followers, we pretty much go by Re-Ups Army. All the hate and everything that goes around, that's kind of our mission statement. Is just be positive and enjoy each other's time. It's more or less just trying to use the internet in a positive way. We all from around the world get to connect on the same level, which is, we all love video games. Mixer.com/Re-Up. I'm live every single day, 8 p.m.
And welcome back to this Thursday edition of WNY News Now. We're here with Chautauqua County Executive George Borrello. He's in the house. He's been in numerous times before, but George, things are different now. What's happening up there in Mayville?
Well, there's always a lot going on in Mayville. Last Wednesday, a little over a week ago, I delivered my second State of the County address, and we talked about several initiatives, things from throughout the county. But the whole theme was collaboration, and really, how can we work better together? All the municipalities throughout Chautauqua County, all the organizations, and everyone else that's working so diligently to make Chautauqua County a better place to live, work, operate a business, and raise a family. So, I feel like we have a great positive attitude right now. I think people have improved their attitude recently, and I think we're definitely on an upward slope.
And George, what things specifically would you like to increase collaboration on? I mean, I know you've talked about the situation in Ripley with the I-90 corridor in there. You've talked about perhaps with the two task forces doing some more collaboration. What else would you like to see?
Well, collaboration in general is an important thing, but economic development is an area where we have really had not enough collaboration. We've had communication, we've had cooperation, but collaboration is where you're actually sitting together to set and achieve specific goals. So that's why we are in the process of developing an economic development alliance throughout Chautauqua County, and it will involve all the municipalities that have economic development strategies and teams. It will involve the private sector. It involved the various organizations, not-for-profits and so forth, that are also involved in economic development. Everyone together to set an agenda and to ensure that we're working together to achieve those goals as efficiently and as quickly as possible and for the best possible result.
George, shifting gears a little bit here, we've had some conversations in the past month or so about various things that are happening in Albany. And as you said, it looks like a lot of these issues are going to become reality. So has there been anything new that you or your department heads have been able to do to at least prepare for these situations?
Well, we've had several meetings, conversations, and we've taken some actions to be prepared for what's happening in Albany. The new legislation has been fast and furious there. So, number one, we've been in close contact with our state legislators, Andy Goodell and Kathy Young, and also we're working closely with NYSAC, the New York State Association of Counties. And that really is important too, because it lets us know what other counties are doing, what their concerns are, and how we can best advocate together as a group to try and bring some common sense to some of this, quickly forming legislation. So yeah, we've been working hard on that on a number of fronts.
Now, specifically with the situation regarding the legalization of recreational marijuana, I know you mentioned that when you were at the NYSEC conference in February, right?
Yes.
In February, Axel Burnaby told you that, or assured you rather, that he would be sending your concerns to Governor Cuomo himself. Have you heard back from either men?
At this point, I have not heard back from him. However, my concerns were specifically addressed in NYSEC's presentation to members of the state legislature. In fact, I was able to read the minutes of their official meeting, where they actually went point by point through the points that I had outlined in my concerns for recreational marijuana. And so I feel it's gotten to the right point now. The governor has drafted his version of the law that he would like to see, and it's now in the state legislature's hands. I'm glad to see that, I think through much of the advocacy that a lot of us did, myself included, that they've really started to pump the brakes and say, whoa, let's make sure we're doing this right. I don't believe that anyone thinks we're going to stop this from happening, and I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there that are very justified in their feeling that it should happen. It just needs to happen with the proper common sense regulations and really addressing some of the major issues that I've outlined in the past that we need to address before this becomes law.
Now, I know the state legislature is also talking about creating a law that would raise the tobacco age to 21. And I know here in Chautauqua County, it was a couple years ago, right, that it was raised to 21.
Yes.
What kind of impact should the whole state raise the age to 21? Would that make some sort of impact, at least at an economical sense, like positively or negatively?
Well, I mean, you have to look at the big picture to see a positive economic impact. And, here's the thing. We live in a society where everyone, wants to make their own decisions and on things like this, and I totally support that. However, we also live in a state where the state will essentially demand that when someone can no longer care for themselves or their families because of their own actions, that the taxpayers must support that person indefinitely. And so you have to look at this as the impacts that tobacco and drugs and other things have on our overall economy. We have a state that's facing a major budget deficit, and we spend billions and billions of dollars a year on public health care, and much of that is preventable. So this, in my opinion, is a step to not only improving people's health and lives, it's also about the long-term economic impact of having to care for those people who've made bad decisions.
And shifting gears even more here, George, last Friday you had your first town hall after lunch type Facebook Live setting. What led you to start those?
This is something we had discussed previously, and I think it's wonderful. The medium that you work in, social media, is a great opportunity for people to be able to not have to leave their home, and not have to go to a meeting where maybe it conflicts with their ability to get, have someone watch their kids or be able to get away from work or whatever. Here's an opportunity for someone to, and we did it, right around the lunch hour, so that we could have people, if they want to take their break at their desk and listen to what we were talking about, it would give everybody an opportunity to give some input without ever having to leave their home or their work. So we intend to do more of those, and I think it's it's a wonderful opportunity for folks. I think that we all can admit that social media has now, that most people in our community have some kind of access to social media. So here's a great opportunity for us to speak with people, and let them quickly and easily give feedback.
And George, coming down to the last minute before a break, is there anything else that you want to relay to the public? I mean, I know you've been trying to get more public participation when it comes to not just legislature meetings, but other hot topics. What would you like to say to the people out there?
Well, when it comes to being involved in government, it's an incredibly important thing. And I've been a strong believer that either you're part of the solution or you're part of the problem. There's no middle ground. So I ask people to get involved and also to make sure that you take the time to do your own due diligence, whether it's a topic that you are passionate about or something you just heard about that you are concerned about. Make sure you take the time to listen. Everything that you read on the internet isn't true, and certainly everything you hear from politicians isn't necessarily true. So take the time to be your own independent person, but please participate in the process.
Alrighty, and thank you again, County Executive George Borrello here in studio. And we'll, in case you missed part of the interview, you can always look back as soon as our Facebook Live is done. And George, I'm sure we'll be talking probably tomorrow. That's how this business works.
Hey, thank you very much for letting me be here.
Thank you, sir. And coming up, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter has a live look at that Brotherhood Property Maintenance First Defense weather as WNY News Now continues.
Now open in downtown Jamestown, Pearl City Hops, restaurant and tavern.
I have some real old-timey dishes on there that I'm just giving new life to. Like there's a shepherd's pie on there that's going to have some bison in it, you know, real thick hearty gravy. Then I'm also doing beer flights. We're pairing it with a set of sliders, a set of tacos, and a set of mini rolls. So everything's going to have its own pair, so you can get a taste of a little bit of everything and all the beers. We don't want to be known as the restaurant in the hotel. We want to be known as Pearl City Hops.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Turn to Brotherhood Property Maintenance for all your lawn care and landscaping needs, no matter the season. Brotherhood Property Maintenance does it all, from professional plowing during the winter months to expert landscaping all summer long. Count on Brotherhood Property Maintenance for mowing, landscaping, tree work, spring and fall cleanup, plus snow removal. Serving both commercial and residential lots, check out Jamestown's fastest growing landscaping crew on Facebook or call us right now to book an appointment.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
Hey, and welcome back. And we're still keeping track of that spring countdown for you. 13 more days to go on the calendar anyway, but will we see spring in 13 days? We'll see. The time change, by the way, comes up Sunday at 2 a.m. So as you head to bed Saturday night, make sure you set those clocks forward 1 hour. And you also check and change the batteries in your NOAA weather radio and also in your smoke detectors as well. Of course, you do that every time change. Here's a live look at the HD News Now cam. We've seen a few little snowflakes falling throughout the day, and that's going to be the story through the afternoon. It's at least 21 degrees. We're not in the teens anymore. Thank goodness. And look at that west wind of 13. That's creating some blowing snow. But look at the wind chill at 8 degrees. Whew, boy, we should be near 40 this time of the year, just to give you a reference how cold it is. Again, there is a few of those little light snow flurries moving through the southern tier. Again, not a big deal there. We got high pressure back to our west that's going to be building in, and all of this stuff you see down here is going to remain at bay because the high pressure is going to help keep it down to our south. This is that storm system I mentioned yesterday, and this is part of the system that's going to be coming in here over the weekend, and that system is also going to produce another severe weather threat down in the deep south, pretty much the same places that were hit just a week ago, such as some parts of Mississippi and Birmingham, Alabama, who were hit with tornadoes just this past weekend. So another severe weather threat for them, but we don't expect severe weather out of this system. We'll take you through the day here on Future Scan. The model does pick up on a few light lake effect snow flurries, very light, if anything. Again, Lake Erie is mostly frozen, but there is still some patches of open water out here that will generate a very weak lake effect response. Those go to bed, and then tomorrow should be mainly dry as high pressure builds in, and then that dry weather continues all the way to the first half of the weekend. But the next big thing we're keeping an eye on is that storm system on Sunday. And again, what I have on here along with the model, all these lines are called called contour lines. It's also known as isobars. And this is the system we're watching. It's going to pass to our west towards the Great Lakes. It may start as mixed precipitation early on Sunday before changing over to all rain as the warmer air filters in. But notice how close together all these isobar lines are. The closer together they are, that means the more windier it could be. So it could be a windy day. We're talking to probably wind gusts of around 50 miles an hour. This is an early call here. So again, this is just what we're expecting. Quite windy and mild as well. Of course, we will update that with the high resolution data when we get that tomorrow. And looking out mid-March, it's going to get warm, but I don't think it's going to last. And you can see here as we go all the way out to the end of March here, equal chances by the Climate Prediction Center of possible either colder or warmer temperatures. So we'll see how this goes throughout the night. Look at the temperatures tonight. 2 valleys, 12 Lake Erie shoreline, mainly clear, a few more clouds, mainly near the Lake Erie shoreline. Just another very cold night, but today is the last night of that. Next 7 days of your life coming up right now, brought to you by Brotherhood Property Maintenance. 42 Saturday, there's that sunshine. And oh boy, 51 delectable degrees on Sunday with rain, and the temperatures go back down into the 30s for early next week. Sports is next. Do not go away.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
It is Thursday, sports fans, which means it is near the end of the work week. Welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. With high school basketball nearly drawing to a close, high school baseball will begin very soon. The Jamestown Red Raiders baseball season begins on April 1st, as they will have a conference game on the road against the West Seneca West Indians. In other upcoming local baseball action, on March 28th, the Frewsburg Bears baseball team will begin their season as they will face the Randolph Cardinals. Tonight, with an 8:30 puck drop, the Buffalo Sabres will be on the road against the Chicago Blackhawks. Buffalo has lost their last 2 games and are still in 5th in the Atlantic Division with 68 points. Chicago, like Buffalo, have lost their last 2 games and are in last place in the Central Division with 63 points, 7 points behind the Colorado Avalanche. The game will be televised on MSGB and can be viewed on the NHL app. In nationwide sports, the Arnold Palmer Invitational is underway. Taking place at the Bay Hill Golf Course in Bay Hill, Florida, a suburb in Orlando, the first tee time was earlier this morning at 6:45. Going on from today until March 10th, this tournament's total purse is $9.1 million. The Arnold Palmer Invitational can be viewed on the Golf Channel and on NBC. Matty Ice, back to you.
Thank you, Norm. See you later. Purcell Middle School 5th graders had the opportunity recently to visit the rainforest in Costa Rica as Roger Torrey Peterson Institute Tuan leaders and high school students live streamed some of the Costa Rican landscape that they are doing research at. Jefferson Middle School 5th grade teacher Mindy Trapani says this is the 3rd year of that live streaming. Students were also able to see some of the tools that are used to collect data. In addition, students saw a variety of animals that reside in Costa Rica. Dakota, let's go to Costa Rica.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think I remember anything like that. I don't think we ever took field trips like that.
Well, 3 years. I mean, you graduated in 1842. So.
Yeah, well, that's true. But, you know, I think the biggest field trip, I think, in school, I think I ever took was probably Waldemere. I think that might have been
But that's a
it.
good trip. That's a good trip. Everybody likes Waldemere. Maybe.
I mean, you know, a lot. It's like you know, even in high school, we didn't even go to Cedar Point because that's where like everybody at JHS went in their senior year was Cedar Point. But we decided to have like a ski and snowboarding thing at Peak and Peak. But I don't ski and snowboard, so I just spent all day in the hot tub. That's what I did.
Okay, my real question is,
Yes.
there's two things I want to bring up before final weather. Alberta asked us today what our favorite cereal was because it's National Cereal Day.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now mine is like Cocoa Puffs or what's that? Cookie Crisp.
Yes,
That's good.
cookie, yes.
Now what's yours?
Mine is Honey Bunches of Bolts.
But that commercial is getting really annoying.
And
lately.
yes, I know before I get corrected, it's Honey Bunches of Oats, but I call it Honey Bunches of Bolts.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay, Dakota, to be a little wrong. I mean, I just had a blooper. Did you catch that in the E1 story?
Yes.
I stumbled for a second, so great.
So did I.
So now here we go. We're going to go to Christmas. We're going to be at the Christmas party this year. And Storm Hartman, who's producing this week while Justin's gone, he's going to be here and he's going to laugh in my face and great. So I'm just going to look at the comments real quick here. Now see what's going on.
Joseph said Honey Smacks as his favorite cereal.
Aha! And then I see Niagara Falls, Banned Cannabis.
Niagara Falls, what's that about?
Oh, that
Oh,
could
probably
have
the
been.
best trips, probably, yeah.
Yeah, that one probably was because I didn't see it come up
Yeah.
live. That probably. Okay, and then the cannabis part was probably from our discussion with George Borello. See, here's the thing, guys, about Facebook Live. I mean, sometimes when the comments come in rapidly, you don't know where they come,
Right.
like chronologically in
What they go to, yeah.
Yeah, so don't mind us in here. I mean, I'm sure Dakota and
Raisin Flakes?
I will,
What?
Uh-oh. He's mad.
I mean, you know, Lucky Charms? Gross.
What are you talking about? That's awesome.
No, the marshmallows are nasty.
Are you serious? Yeah, Storm is
Our
stunned.
producer's yelling at me right now.
Storm
He's like,
is
are you
stunned.
serious?
Like, he's stunned.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm disappointed. I should have asked George Borello what his favorite cereal was.
I know.
And now...
Yeah, okay. They're telling me let's go to weather. So let's take a look at Lynx 1, and we'll take a look at the spring countdown one final time. Lucky 13, speaking of Lucky Charms, that's all we have left, at least on the calendar. But will that spring weather continue? Well, we'll have a little taste of it there on the Brotherhood Property Maintenance 7-day high pressure builds in Friday and Saturday, but rain Sunday. But who cares when it's 51 degrees? And it looks like we warm up once again going into mid to late next week.
Well, Dakota, I'm not going to have my hopes up. No, I trust your weather. So it's okay. It's all right. 365-day forecast coming to you next week. In the meantime, that is it for us today.
It's an app exclusive, so if you haven't downloaded the app,
you better.
That's a reason to do it now.
Well, and we'll be back tomorrow. So news 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com continues. Have a great day.
See you tomorrow.